Anti-aircraft guns once fired blindly into dark skies, hoping to hit unseen bombers. That crude image captures how air defense began and how far it has evolved. Air defense means every measure used to detect, track, and defeat hostile aircraft. Today, that also includes missiles, drones, rockets, and even incoming artillery shells. Across a century, air defense has changed with every shift in air power. Understanding that evolution explains many modern wars, budgets, and technologies. The story starts in the early 1900s, before aircraft dominated battlefields. Early airplanes were fragile, slow, and unable to carry heavy weapons or bombs. Commanders saw them mainly as scouts for artillery and ground forces. Defense against aircraft relied on rifles and machine guns fired from the ground. Soldiers simply aimed by eye and hoped the aircraft flew low enough. There was no specialized anti-aircraft system, only improvised fire from existing weapons. The First World War changed this relaxed attitude very quickly. Aircraft grew stronger, flew higher, and carried cameras and light bombs. Observation balloons directed artillery fire with surprising accuracy and persistence. Commanders realized that whoever controlled the air gained a powerful advantage. Defending against these new threats demanded dedicated weapons and organization. The first true anti-aircraft guns appeared during this war. Existing field guns were mounted on high-angle mounts with crude elevation mechanisms. Crews learned to lead targets using experience and rough mechanical sights. Simple rangefinders helped guess distance, but data remained approximate. These weapons were usually placed around key points, like supply depots and rail lines. They were static, heavy, and slow to move, but they marked a turning point. At night, a different defensive tool emerged, the searchlight. Huge carbon arc lamps projected intense beams into the night sky. Operators tried to catch the silhouette of a bomber or observation aircraft. Once a target was found, guns in the area could aim more effectively. Searchlights also had a psychological effect, intimidating pilots flying into bright cones. Night air defense became a combination of listening posts, lights, and scattered guns. Between the wars, aircraft performance improved much faster than ground defenses. Aircraft flew higher, faster, and carried heavier bomb loads over longer distances. Strategists predicted that bomber formations could destroy cities in a single raid. The phrase that the bomber would always get through described this fear. Air defense thinkers faced a stark challenge: find new ways to detect attackers early. That requirement would drive the next great leap in air defense. The solution arrived with radio detection and ranging, often shortened to radar. Engineers discovered that radio waves reflected off metal aircraft at long distances. By measuring timing and direction, operators could estimate range and bearing. Early radar sets were bulky, power-hungry, and mechanically fragile. Yet they provided something air defense had never possessed: early warning. For the first time, defenders could see attackers long before bombs fell. The Second World War became a vast laboratory for integrated air defense. Britain built a chain of coastal radar stations measuring aircraft approaching over water. Information flowed from radars to filter rooms and command centers. Controllers plotted raids on large maps and directed fighter squadrons by radio. Searchlights and anti-aircraft guns formed additional layers around key cities and ports. This integrated approach turned scattered assets into a coordinated defense network. Radar-guided gunnery also advanced quickly during this conflict. Gun-laying radars measured the precise position of enemy bombers in real time. Mechanical fire control computers predicted where targets would be seconds later. Guns fired shells with timed fuses that exploded near predicted positions. This method greatly increased the lethality of anti-aircraft fire against formations. Heavy anti-aircraft batteries became essential protectors of industrial regions. Germany pursued another path by trying to bypass defenses altogether. High-speed rockets like the V-2 bypassed most conventional anti-aircraft guns. Sound and light detection could not track such fast ballistic trajectories accurately. Defending cities from these weapons required different thinking and technologies. Early experiments in guided missiles began, but technology remained immature. The fundamental problem became clear: guns alone could not handle every aerial threat. After the war, a new threat overshadowed conventional bombers. Long-range bombers could now carry nuclear weapons across continents. Atomic warfare raised the stakes for air defense to an existential level. Early warning times shrank as aircraft speeds increased into the jet age. The primary mission shifted from protecting factories to protecting entire nations. This era pushed air defense from localized batteries toward national air defense systems. Surface-to-air missiles emerged as a response to high-altitude nuclear bombers. Guided missiles could reach targets that guns struggled to hit effectively. Soviet systems like the S-75 and American systems like Nike Hercules appeared. These used radar to track both target and missile in real time. Ground computers generated guidance commands sent by radio to the missile. Missiles carried powerful warheads to compensate for guidance inaccuracies. The success of these missiles became visible in dramatic events. In 1960, a Soviet S-75 battery shot down an American U-2 spy plane. The aircraft had flown at extreme altitude, once considered nearly invulnerable. This incident transformed perceptions about the reach of surface-to-air missiles. Strategists recognized that high-flying bombers now faced deadly opposition. Air defense had become both technical and political, influencing diplomacy and crises. Cold War planners built increasingly elaborate air defense networks. Lines of radars stretched across northern regions to detect bombers from afar. Fighter interceptors waited at high readiness on remote airfields. Ground controllers used radar scopes to vector fighters onto approaching tracks. Data links began feeding radar information directly into aircraft cockpits. These systems represented the fusion of sensors, communication, and weapons. However, bombers were not the only nuclear delivery option. Ballistic missiles could deliver warheads in minutes across continents. Traditional air defense systems could not engage warheads streaking through space. This challenge created a new domain: missile defense. Early efforts tried to detect launches with large radars pointed toward probable routes. Interceptors aimed to destroy warheads in the upper atmosphere or outside it. Missile defense introduced new technical and strategic problems. Warheads were small, fast, and hard to track among decoys and debris. Interceptors required precise guidance and extremely fast reaction times. Even partial success could still leave devastating damage on defended cities. Political leaders worried about arms races driven by defensive and offensive cycles. Despite these difficulties, research continued, especially in the United States and Soviet Union. While superpowers focused on nuclear threats, conventional air defense also evolved. Ground forces needed protection from attack aircraft and attack helicopters. Mobile short-range systems combined radar with rapid-firing guns. Self-propelled guns could move alongside tank formations across broken terrain. Later, shoulder-fired missiles offered infantry some protection against low-flying aircraft. Systems like the American Stinger and Soviet Strela became widely exported and influential. Jet aircraft adoption changed tactics for both attackers and defenders. Aircraft used terrain following flight to hide behind hills and ground clutter. Low-altitude penetration reduced time available for radar detection and engagement. This pressured defenders to deploy low-altitude radars and more agile missile systems. Infrared guided missiles home on heat signatures, independent of radar reflections. These complements to radar-guided weapons created layered coverage across altitude bands. The Arab-Israeli wars offered sharp lessons about modern air defense. In 1973, Egyptian and Syrian forces deployed Soviet missile systems. Layered coverage of short, medium, and long-range missiles protected frontline troops. Israeli aircraft suffered heavy losses when attacking without sufficient suppression tactics. This demonstrated that modern surface-to-air missiles could deny air superiority. Western air forces took note and rethought air defense and counter-air strategies. The response emphasized electronic warfare and suppression of enemy air defenses. Attack aircraft carried jamming pods that confused or blinded hostile radars. Anti-radiation missiles homed on the emissions of radar antennas. By forcing radars to shut down or destroying them, attackers opened corridors in defenses. Air defense commanders learned to use mobility, camouflage, and deception. Survivability now relied on relocating quickly and limiting radar transmissions. Around this time, command and control systems advanced dramatically. Digital computers replaced manual plotting boards in control centers. Radar data from many sites fused into unified air pictures on electronic displays. Operators could identify friend or foe through coded transponder responses. Automated systems calculated intercept solutions for fighters and missiles. The end of the Cold War did not reduce air defense relevance. Conflicts in the Gulf highlighted precision strike and cruise missile threats. Cruise missiles flew low and followed terrain, mimicking manned aircraft tactics. They presented small radar cross-sections and flexible attack routes. Defending against them required better low-altitude radar coverage and rapid response. Patriot missile systems attempted to intercept ballistic missiles and aircraft alike. Their performance improved across successive conflicts through software and hardware updates. Modern air defense has become deeply layered and highly networked. At long range, powerful radars search hundreds of kilometers in every direction. They cue high-altitude interceptor missiles designed to destroy distant targets. Medium-range systems bridge gaps and defend specific regions or field formations. Short-range systems and guns protect critical points against low-altitude threats. All these layers share data through complex communication networks linking sensors and shooters. A newer challenge has arrived with the spread of drones and loitering munitions. Small drones can be hard to see on conventional radars, dominated by ground clutter. They can swarm, attack from multiple directions, and change course mid-flight. Many are cheap compared to expensive missile interceptors. Using high-end missiles against low-cost drones quickly becomes economically unsustainable. This reality has forced a rethink of cost-effective defenses against mass small threats. To counter drones, defenses have turned again to guns and new technologies. Rapid-firing cannons with programmable ammunition create dense lethal zones. Each shell can detect passing targets and explode at the most damaging point. Directed energy weapons like high-power lasers promise low cost per shot. They can engage many drones without resupply, as long as power remains available. Electronic warfare also plays a strong role in modern air defense. Many drones and guided weapons depend on satellite navigation and radio links. Jammers can deny navigation signals or sever control connections. Spoofers can feed false data, causing weapons to miss or crash. These methods avoid physical destruction, but neutralize the threat effectively. Air defense now involves energy and information effects as much as kinetic intercepts. Another change concerns the role of data and autonomy. Sensors produce enormous amounts of tracking information across large regions. Artificial intelligence can help classify objects, filter noise, and prioritize threats. Automated tracking systems maintain continuous custody of targets across sensor handovers. Some intercept decisions may be suggested or executed by algorithms under human oversight. This speeds reactions to hypersonic or mass raid scenarios with very short timelines. Yet it also raises questions about control, reliability, and escalation risks. Hypersonic weapons represent the newest challenge to air defense. These weapons travel at several times the speed of sound, often maneuvering unpredictably. They may fly within the atmosphere on variable trajectories that defeat traditional prediction. Current radars can detect them, but reaction windows become extremely narrow. Interceptors must be faster and smarter, or defenses must attack earlier in the chain. Some strategies focus on destroying launchers rather than intercepting incoming vehicles. Throughout this history, several core principles of air defense remain consistent. First, early warning is vital, whether from human observers or over-the-horizon radars. Without timely detection, no weapon can succeed in stopping an attack. Second, integration of sensors, decision-makers, and weapons matters as much as hardware. An isolated battery, however powerful, is weaker than a coordinated network system. Third, adaptation gradually follows every new offensive technology or tactic. Air defense has also expanded beyond the battlefield into civilian protection. Civil aviation relies on identification systems to avoid accidental engagements. National airspace surveillance centers track commercial, military, and unknown flights. Procedures govern how fighters intercept aircraft that deviate from assigned routes. During crises, integrated air defense ensures that confusion does not trigger disaster. Civil and military systems must cooperate while preserving security and secrecy. Urban areas now host specific defenses for high-profile events and critical infrastructure. Temporary batteries can guard political summits or major sporting competitions. Fixed systems protect capitals, nuclear plants, and key communications nodes. Weather, terrain, and population density influence weapon and sensor placement. Rules of engagement aim to minimize collateral damage from defensive fires. Planners weigh risk, cost, and public perception when deploying these measures. Cybersecurity has become another front in air defense evolution. Radars, communication links, and fire control computers all run complex software. Adversaries may attempt to disrupt or manipulate systems through network attacks. False tracks could be injected, or real ones could be hidden from displays. Missiles might be prevented from receiving guidance or given incorrect instructions. Defenders now protect code and data with the same seriousness as physical assets. International cooperation shapes many aspects of modern air defense. Allied states often share radar coverage across borders for regional awareness. Joint Air Operations Centers coordinate interceptions and training flights. Shared identification standards prevent friendly forces from being misidentified. Common systems allow interoperable missiles and radars among partner nations. These arrangements complicate planning, but strengthen collective deterrence. At the same time, the spread of advanced air defense alters regional balances. Some states buy powerful systems to deter stronger air forces from intervention. Such purchases can trigger concern and countermeasures from neighboring countries. Arms control discussions now include defensive systems alongside offensive missiles. Because defenses can undermine nuclear deterrence, they affect strategic stability. Technology transfer, training, and secrecy remain sensitive subjects in diplomacy. The evolution of air defense also influences aircraft and weapon design. Stealth aircraft attempt to reduce detection ranges by absorbing or shaping radar energy. Want to learn more? Visit superlore.ai and create a custom episode on any topic you wish. Try it for free today and unleash your curiosity.